Chosen ones, your story will make you famous. What was done to you is a sickness beyond belief. Out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. These powerful words by Khalil Gibran perfectly capture the essence of today's journey. Chosen ones. What if every painful experience, every betrayal, and every act of cruelty you've faced was not just misfortune, but a deliberate challenge meant to shape you into someone extraordinary? What if your story, the story they tried to erase, was destined to inspire, to heal, and to transform lives? Share your thoughts in the comments. What's the one moment in your life that tested you the most, but also gave you strength? Your voice matters, and your story might just ignite someone else's journey. Let's awaken together, here on Spiritual Wisdom. 1. A sickness rooted in envy. Envy is a spiritual sickness, a silent, insidious force that often masquerades as kindness or harmless chatter, but carries the power to corrode relationships and distort reality. Those who betrayed you, manipulated you, and worked tirelessly to undermine your path weren't acting at random. They were driven by the toxic undercurrent of envy. It's not just about wanting what someone else has. It's about despising the fact that you even possess it. Your strength, your light, your ability to overcome adversity. They saw it all, and instead of being inspired, it magnified their own insecurities. To them, your presence was a mirror reflecting their unfulfilled potential, and their only way to cope was to shatter that mirror, hoping to extinguish what they couldn't replicate. But envy is rarely loud or obvious. It cloaks itself in criticism, disguised as concern. It whispers sabotage in the language of helpful advice, convincing you to play small. You might have heard them say you're dreaming too big, chasing illusions, or destined to fail. They didn't say this because it was true. They said it because your audacity to dream highlighted the limitations they had placed on their own lives. They needed you to question yourself, to shrink, because your success made them feel smaller in comparison. Their cruelty, though veiled, was deeply personal, not just aimed at your achievements, but at the very essence of who you are. Your light was a threat to the comfort of their shadows, and in their desperation, they sought to dim it. Yet the irony of envy lies in its self-destruction. It poisons the person who carries it far more than the one it targets. While they were consumed by their attempts to undermine you, they failed to see the spiritual truth. You were never their competition. You were a living testament to what's possible, a proof that rising above limitations is achievable. Instead of learning or finding inspiration, they chose bitterness, and in doing so, they imprisoned themselves in a cycle of unfulfilled potential and regret. You might have felt the weight of their actions deeply, even doubted your own gifts at times. Perhaps you tried to blend in, dulling your radiance to make them feel less threatened. But the beauty of spiritual awakening is that it reconnects you with your truth. You were never meant to fit into their mold. What they couldn't handle about you was the very thing you were born to share with the world. Their envy was a symptom of their own wounds, but it has nothing to do with your worth. In modern life, jealousy often works in the shadows at work, in families, and even among friends. The advice here is simple. Don't let their illness define your path. Remember that your light is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to shine brighter, even in the face of resistance. Instead of internalizing their criticism, see their actions as what they really are, a reflection of their own struggles, not your shortcomings. Keep rising, keep embracing your gifts, and never let someone else's darkness determine how bright you shine. Comment below. I choose to rise because what happened to you may be unimaginable, but your story of resilience, spiritual growth, and awakening will make you unforgettable. 2. The dehumanization. You endured. What you went through wasn't just cruelty. It was a calculated attempt to break the essence of who you are. It wasn't limited to physical harm or emotional manipulation. It was an attack on your spirit, a deeply insidious effort to strip away your humanity and make you feel unworthy of love, respect, and even existence itself. Their goal wasn't just to cause pain. It was to erase your identity, to reduce you to a mere shell, devoid of confidence, dignity, and hope. This is why what was done to you is a sickness beyond belief. True cruelty doesn't stop at causing suffering. It seeks to obliterate the soul. They targeted more than your happiness. They came after your very sense of self. They wanted to plant doubt in your mind, to make you question your worth and believe that your existence was insignificant. Their methods were subtle at times, blatantly cruel at others, but always aimed at diminishing you. They ignored your pain, invalidated your voice, and treated you as though your life and experiences didn't matter. This wasn't just mistreatment, it was an attempt to rewrite your narrative, to turn your story into one of invisibility and powerlessness. Think about it. How often did you start to see yourself through their distorted lens? Did you begin to believe the lies they tried to weave about you, that you were small, powerless, and undeserving of joy? That's the poison of dehumanization. It seeps into your thoughts, creating cracks in your confidence and disconnecting you from your true worth. But here's the part they never saw coming. Their attempt to erase you wasn't the end of your story. It was the beginning of your spiritual awakening. You see, the human spirit is far more resilient than they could ever comprehend. Yes, they may have robbed you of peace, comfort, and even hope for a time. But they could never touch the core of who you are. No amount of cruelty can destroy the essence of your being, the divine spark within you that refuses to be extinguished. That spark is your spirituality, your connection to something greater, your ability to rise again and reclaim your life. Take a moment to reflect on your journey. Haven't you already proved them wrong by surviving, by refusing to disappear? Each step you take toward rebuilding yourself is a defiance of their intentions. Every act of self-love, every moment of healing, is a declaration that you are not defined by what they tried to do to you. Their sickness doesn't define you, your strength does. Let me tell you a story of resilience. A young artist once faced relentless ridicule and rejection. Her work was dismissed, her passion mocked, and her identity as an artist attacked. She began to believe their words, until one day, in her darkest moment, she picked up her brush and painted not for them, but for herself. That act of creation was her rebellion, her way of reclaiming her worth. Today, her art inspires millions, but more importantly, it reminds her daily that her story was never theirs to write. Now, ask yourself, how will you reclaim your story? What steps can you take today to reconnect with your worth and reignite your spiritual growth? Remember, rising from the darkness isn't about rushing. It's about taking one small, intentional step at a time. Healing may take time, but each moment you choose yourself, you move closer to the light. Here's the lesson. You are not what happened to you. You are how you rise. Their cruelty may have tried to dim your light, but your spirit is untouchable, your story powerful, and your worth undeniable. Your resilience is a testament to the truth that even the worst attempts to destroy someone can fail spectacularly. Let this moment be the beginning of your journey back to yourself stronger, wiser, and more connected to your divine purpose than ever before. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 3. The gaslighting of your greatness. The very essence of your greatness has been under attack since the moment you began to shine. Those who should uplift your family, friends, teachers, have instead often been the first to cast shadows over your light. With phrases like "stay humble" or "be realistic," they aim to shrink your dreams, not because they care about your well-being, but because your potential terrifies them. Why? Because greatness, true greatness, is unsettling. It challenges the ordinary, disrupts the status quo, and reminds those around you of the heights they may never dare to reach. Have you ever wondered why society rewards conformity while condemning individuality? It's because the world fears what it cannot control. When you begin to show even a glimmer of your true power, whether through your creative ideas, unshakable resilience, or innate talent, the world rushes to gaslight you into doubting yourself. It labels you arrogant, difficult, or delusional, all to keep you tethered to mediocrity. As the poet Marianne Williamson once said, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure." Your power is a mirror, and it forces others to confront their own limitations. But the real tragedy is not what they say, it's what you start to believe. Over time, the whispers of doubt become a roar. You find yourself questioning the very qualities that set you apart. You tell yourself, "Maybe I'm not that special," even as the fire inside you burns brighter. Have you ever felt that conflict, the nagging doubt clashing with an unshakable inner knowing? That's your spiritual wisdom speaking, reminding you of the truth they've tried to bury. Your greatness hasn't disappeared. It's simply been buried under layers of fear, insecurity, and external judgment. But here's the truth. The world doesn't gaslight mediocrity. No one tears down what isn't a threat. They wouldn't work so hard to make you doubt yourself if your potential weren't profoundly real. Every effort to undermine you is proof of how powerful you truly are. Consider this. What would happen if you fully embraced that power? What if, instead of questioning your abilities, you stood firm in them? What if you used their doubt as fuel for your fire? Think about it. What could you achieve if you refused to let their fears dictate your future? As Oprah Winfrey famously said, "You don't become what you want, you become what you believe." And what you need to believe is that your greatness isn't a flaw, it's a gift. Your spiritual wisdom, your unique essence, is the key to unlocking a life that others can only dream of. Are you ready to stop shrinking and start expanding? Are you ready to reclaim the truth of who you are? Because the moment you decide to rise, you become unstoppable. They'll no longer be able to gaslight you because your light will outshine their shadows. And as you rise, you'll inspire others to do the same. That's the ultimate fear of those who try to keep you small. They know your story, your journey, and your triumph will make you legendary. Will you let them win, or will you step into the greatness you were born to claim? Four, the invisible warfare. The most devastating battles aren't the ones fought with swords or fists, they are the ones waged against the unseen. What happened to you wasn't just cruelty or betrayal. It was an invisible war, carefully orchestrated to break your spirit and shake the very foundation of your identity. This wasn't about physical wounds or bruises. It was a methodical assault on your inner world, your mind, your heart, and your sense of self. The weapons were words that lingered like shadows, betrayals that cut deeper than any blade, and manipulations that chipped away at your belief in yourself. Yet, because there were no visible scars, the world didn't understand. They couldn't grasp the enormity of the pain you carried. People would look at you and see someone strong, someone who carried on, smiled, and faced the day. But inside, it was a different story. A quiet unraveling, a sense of being hollowed out by forces no one else could name. The emotional and spiritual toll of such invisible warfare is profound, often leaving you trapped in a loop of self-doubt, overthinking, and misplaced blame. You may have asked yourself why you couldn't just move on, Why the shadows seem to follow you no matter how hard you tried to shake them off. The truth is, the very design of this warfare was to leave you feeling powerless, isolated, and unable to see the light beyond the struggle. But let's talk about the deeper sickness behind this. This was never just about causing pain. It was about control. The goal wasn't to destroy you outright, but to make you believe you were small, incapable, and stuck in a world of limitations. Every cruel word, every calculated action was aimed at convincing you that you were less than what you are. This, my friend, is spiritual warfare in its most sinister form. And yet, in the face of it all, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still seeking something greater. That alone is proof they never truly won. Your survival, your refusal to give up, speaks to a resilience they never anticipated. It's the light of a spiritual awakening, the kind of transformation that turns your wounds into wisdom and your pain into purpose. In today's world, it's easy to dismiss battles like these because they don't come with visible proof. But as someone who has faced this unseen war, you understand its reality and its toll. You also understand that healing doesn't come from pretending the pain didn't happen. It comes from acknowledging it, reclaiming your power, and transforming the narrative. Your story has the power to be your greatest weapon, not just for yourself, but for others who are still in the trenches of their invisible wars. Share it, not out of anger, but as a testament to your strength and as a beacon of hope. Remember this: the fact that you've endured means you've been chosen for something greater. In every crack left by the pain, light has a chance to enter. Lean into that light, nurture your spirit, and embrace the awakening that turns your survival into triumph. What was done to you was a sickness beyond belief, but your resilience is the antidote. Your story is more than a testament to what you've endured. It's a roadmap for others to follow, a spiritual call to rise above, and proof that even in the darkest battles, the chosen ones are destined to win. And if you feel inspired by this message, type "I trust the process" as a way to affirm your strength, patience, and commitment to growth. Let's grow together. 5. The loneliness of seeing the truth. The path of a chosen one often comes with the heavy burden of seeing the truth, a gift as illuminating as it is isolating. Through every trial, your perspective sharpens, unveiling the hidden layers of life that most people cannot or will not confront. The deeper your wounds, the greater your clarity becomes. You've seen how fear masquerades as authority, how manipulation hides behind smiles, and how selfishness often parades as altruism. This insight is not something you sought. It is a byproduct of surviving what most cannot imagine. And while this clarity is your superpower, it can also feel like a curse, isolating you from those who live comfortably wrapped in illusions. People often cling to their carefully constructed worlds, avoiding the pain of truth because it demands change, vulnerability, and courage. This resistance leaves you standing alone, unable to share your revelations without being misunderstood or dismissed. You might be called cynical or paranoid, but that's because many are unprepared to see what you cannot unsee. They fear the weight of truth while you bear it every day. Yet, in this loneliness, you find an unshakable purpose. Your ability to discern the sickness beneath the surface, whether it's the dishonesty in personal relationships or the corruption embedded in societal systems, sets you apart as a guiding light. Consider a modern story. A young activist, deeply aware of environmental degradation, tries to rally their community to take action. They see the effects of greed and negligence everywhere, from polluted rivers to barren forests. But their calls for change are met with apathy and resistance because the truth disrupts people's comfortable routines. Yet, this person doesn't stop. Instead, they start small planting trees, educating a handful of open minds and leading by example. Over time, the once isolated truth-teller inspires a movement, showing others that acknowledging the truth doesn't weaken you, it empowers you. Your story is similar. The clarity you've gained through your trials is not just a burden, it's a beacon. Yes, it sets you apart, but it also prepares you to lead others, even if they resist at first. You might not have chosen this role, but it chose you for a reason. Ask yourself, what lies have you uncovered that others are too afraid to face? How can your truth, even in its loneliness, be a force for transformation? Remember, your spiritual growth is not about fitting in, but about rising above the fog to illuminate the path for others. While the road can be isolating, it is also a testament to your strength. Embrace your role as someone who sees clearly in a world that often prefers blindness. The truth, no matter how heavy, is a gift, and by carrying it with grace, you bring light to the darkest corners of spirituality and life itself. Never forget, what isolates you now will one day connect you with those ready to awaken. Keep walking your path. The world desperately needs the clarity you bring. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 6. The paradox of being a chosen one. Being a chosen one is one of life's most profound paradoxes, a role that appears golden and full of promise, but often feels like a burden too heavy to bear. People may admire the brilliance of your journey, the strength in your resilience, or the triumph of your success. But they don't see the shadows that shaped you, the trials that broke you, or the moments you questioned your very existence. As a chosen one, your life is not a straight path to greatness. It's a relentless storm designed to shape your spirit, sharpen your wisdom, and prepare you for a destiny far beyond what others can imagine. Consider this. Have you ever wondered why your challenges seem more personal, more deliberate, and more painful than those faced by others? It's as though the universe has singled you out, subjecting you to trials that feel almost surgical in their precision. Betrayals, heartbreak, and isolation aren't random. They are the tools used to forge the spiritual wisdom you carry. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Could it be that the storms in your life are not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you for a purpose so immense that it defies comprehension? Yet the journey of a chosen one is inherently isolating. Even those who love you struggle to understand why you experience the things you do. They might label you as unlucky, erratic, or even cursed, unable to see the divine blueprint etched into your trials. The nights you cry out in despair, the moments you feel invisible, the times you question why you were chosen at all. These are not signs of weakness. They are markers of a soul undergoing profound transformation. What if the betrayals you've endured were meant to teach you discernment? What if the loneliness you feel is actually an invitation to connect with the divine within yourself? And here lies the cruelest irony. Everything you're enduring is leading to something extraordinary. The challenges, as unbearable as they may feel, are the seeds of a future so radiant it will leave others in awe. But to get there, you must survive. You must dig deeper than you ever thought possible, finding strength in your darkest moments and trusting that there's a greater plan at work. As the great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." Have you noticed how your trials have given you an inner strength that others admire but cannot fathom? Do you realize that your story, as painful as it is, holds the power to inspire, heal, and elevate others? The truth is, being chosen isn't about being the strongest or the most perfect. It's about enduring when everything around you is designed to break you. It's about rising over and over again, even when the weight of your challenges feels unbearable. This isn't an easy journey. It's a journey of transformation. So ask yourself, are you willing to trust the process, to believe that your story has a purpose beyond what you can see right now? Because the world is waiting for the light you were born to bring, and the only thing standing between you and that destiny is your will to keep moving forward. In the words of Maya Angelou, you may encounter many failures, but you must not be defeated. Your story isn't over, it's just beginning. Comment below, I am chosen, and let's take this journey together. 7. The universe's test of worthiness. Life, with all its chaos and crushing blows, is not the random chaos it sometimes appears to be. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, places chosen ones under a magnifying lens of trials, not as a punishment, but as preparation. Like a master craftsman hammering raw metal into a blade of unyielding strength, the universe uses hardship to shape its strongest warriors. This isn't some poetic notion of triumph through suffering. It's the raw, visceral truth of spiritual awakening. The trials are brutal, designed to strip away every false comfort, every superficial layer, until only the core of who you are remains. When the noise of the world fades and the illusions fall away, you're left face to face with yourself. Who are you in the silence? What do you believe in when there's nothing left to hold on to? These questions are not just existential musings, they're the essence of the spiritual test. The universe tests worthiness in ways that feel cruel, because extraordinary roles demand extraordinary strength. You may not have asked for this, and most certainly, you didn't sign up to endure heartbreak, betrayal, or unimaginable loss. Yet, for reasons that often only become clear with time, you were chosen. The universe saw a light within you, resilience, a potential, an ability to endure what would shatter others. But this selection isn't ceremonial. It's a grueling initiation. The suffering you faced is like a furnace, burning away the doubts, the fears, and the mediocrity until what remains is pure, unshakable, and undeniable power. Some falter under the weight of these tests, succumbing to the pain and losing sight of the bigger picture. The path of the chosen one is not for the faint-hearted. It demands faith in the unseen and trust in a process that often feels merciless. But if you're here, reading these words, still fighting, still standing, then you're proof of a universal truth. You are meant for more. This suffering isn't the end of your story. It's the prelude to something far greater. Modern life, with its distractions and quick fixes, can often obscure this truth, making the pain feel meaningless. But look closer. The spiritual awakening happening within you is a calling to rise, to align with the purpose the universe has meticulously prepared you for. When the time comes, and it will, you'll step into an extraordinary role with clarity and strength you never knew you possessed. The fire you've endured will no longer feel like a punishment but a gift that forged your unbreakable spirit. So keep going, keep standing tall, and know this: the universe didn't make a mistake when it chose you. The world will one day understand your journey, but by then, you'll no longer need their validation. Your story will speak for itself as a testament to the truth that even the darkest trials are fuel for the brightest lights. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. 8. Resilience that baffles the abusers. There's something extraordinary about your resilience, an inner strength so profound that it defies all logic and expectations. especially for those who sought to destroy you. They used manipulation, cruelty, and isolation as their weapons, throwing everything they had in the hopes of watching you crumble. Maybe for a moment, it seemed like they succeeded. You may have doubted yourself, questioned your worth, and even hit rock bottom. But here's the remarkable thing. You didn't stay down. Against all odds, you rose again stronger, wiser, and more unshakable than ever before. And that is what leaves them bewildered, shaken to their core. You see, their actions were not born from strength, but from fear and weakness. People who seek to harm others often do so because they're consumed by their own insecurities. They project those feelings onto you, believing that by breaking your spirit, they could somehow mask their own fragility. Yet your resilience exposed their lie. By refusing to stay broken, you became a living testament to a kind of strength they could never possess. A strength born not of power over others, but of spiritual growth and unwavering faith in yourself. Your ability to rise shines a light on their inner darkness, forcing them to confront the uncomfortable truth of their own inadequacies. Think of a seed buried deep in the soil. It is pressed down, covered in darkness, and seemingly forgotten. But instead of remaining hidden, it uses the pressure and the obscurity to grow. It pushes through the dirt, stretches toward the light, and blossoms into something magnificent. That's what you've done. Your trials became the soil in which your strength took root, and now you're thriving in ways they never imagined. Your journey is a reminder that no amount of cruelty can extinguish the spirit of someone determined to grow. Imagine this. A young professional is ostracized at their workplace, made a target of unfair treatment and gossip. At first, they felt defeated and isolated, questioning their skills and whether they even belonged. But instead of letting the negativity define them, they used the experience to refine their talents and build resilience. Eventually, they left that toxic environment and found a position where their skills were celebrated. Their success became undeniable proof that their value was never tied to the opinions of those who sought to tear them down. This story resonates with the universal truth of spirituality, that growth often comes through hardship, and rising above challenges is the ultimate act of self-empowerment. Now let me ask you this. What is the story you are writing with your resilience? How have the trials in your life shaped you into the person you are becoming? It's worth reflecting on, because every challenge you overcome isn't just a testament to your strength, it's a lesson, a stepping stone toward your highest self. Your ability to keep rising sends a powerful message. The power others thought they had over you was an illusion all along. The lesson here is clear. Your resilience is your greatest weapon, and it comes from a place they'll never understand, a deep well of spiritual strength and growth. Their attempts to break you were never about you. They were about their fear of their own inadequacy. But you've shown that even the darkest trials can lead to the brightest transformations. Never forget that your ability to rise again and again is not just a testament to your character. It's a beacon of hope for others navigating their storms. Let your story inspire and empower, reminding the world that resilience isn't just surviving, it's thriving in the face of adversity. Share your story or simply type, "I am growing," if you're committed to using every moment to improve yourself. Let's keep this conversation going. I can't wait to hear your insights. 9. The burden of extraordinary strength. The strength you carry, the kind that the world so often admires, is a weight far heavier than most can imagine. People see you as unshakable, a beacon of resilience who seems to overcome every obstacle with grace. But behind that perception lies a truth they rarely stop to consider. Your strength was not handed to you as a gift. It was forged in the fires of hardship and pain. Each ounce of it came at an unimaginable cost, one that only you truly understand. The story of your journey is not one of ease, but of endurance, and in that lies a spiritual wisdom that few can fathom. You never asked for this burden, and you didn't volunteer to be the one who had to endure heartbreaks, betrayals, or relentless challenges. This path chose you, and with it came scars that may never fully fade. Yet, those scars tell the story of a warrior, a story written not in moments of glory, but in the quiet resilience of someone who refused to break. As Maya Angelou once said, "I can be changed by what happens to me, but I refuse to be reduced by it." Does that resonate with you? How often have you been shaped by the trials you've faced, yet found a way to rise above them? True strength, though romanticized by many, is not the glossy picture of triumph that the world often paints. It is built brick by brick through suffering, through moments when you thought you couldn't go on, but did anyway. Every time you rose from the ashes, it was because you were first burned. Every fight you survived left you not with trophies, but with marked evidence of battles fought and lessons learned. Have you ever paused to reflect on the depth of your scars and the strength they represent? These are not just reminders of survival, but of transformation. They are a testament to your ability to carry what others could not. There's an unspoken expectation placed on those like you. People assume you don't break, that you don't feel the same pain or need the same help as others. They see the outcome of your resilience, but remain blind to the exhaustion it takes to sustain it. They don't see the nights you spent questioning your worth, or the moments of quiet despair when giving up felt like the only option. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will, as Mahatma Gandhi so aptly said. How often have you drawn on that inner will, even when the world seemed intent on breaking you? Your strength is not just about survival, it's a reflection of battles others were never asked to fight. It's the result of walking a path that demanded everything from you, even when you had nothing left to give. This journey is not one you chose, but you walk it nonetheless, carrying a burden that many will never understand. And in doing so, you illuminate a profound spiritual wisdom. That strength is not about being unbreakable. It's about knowing how to rebuild yourself, time and time again. If this message speaks to you, take it a step further and share it with someone who might need this reminder. Together, we can build connections rooted in honesty and respect. Ten. The chosen are mirrors. Being chosen isn't merely about being different. It's about embodying a deeper spiritual awakening that transforms you into a living mirror for those around you. Your energy doesn't just flow unnoticed. It highlights the hidden corners of people's souls, exposing their strengths and weaknesses, often without a single word. This reflection isn't something you deliberately project. It's an inherent part of your spiritual essence. And yet your presence can feel like a confrontation to many, as it shines a light on their untapped potential, unspoken fears, and the lies they tell themselves to remain comfortable. Your drive becomes a stark reminder of their complacency. Your courage underscores their reluctance, and your resilience serves as a silent witness to their unfulfilled promises. For those not ready to face such revelations, you become an easy target for blame. They project their insecurities and frustrations onto you, crafting a narrative where you are the problem because admitting otherwise would force them to confront the unhealed parts of their spirit. This spiritual role, however, is both a gift and a burden. While it empowers you to ignite change and awaken transformation in others, it often isolates you. People may resent you not for who you are, but for the truths they see when they're around you. They see the life they could be living, the bravery they could exhibit, and the dreams they've let slip away. For some, this reflection is a spark for growth. For others, it's a pain they'd rather bury by lashing out at the source you. This hostility isn't truly about you. It's a defense mechanism against the spiritual awakening you unknowingly trigger in their lives. In modern life, this dynamic becomes more pronounced. Social media, workspaces, and even close relationships amplify the mirrors we present to others. As a chosen one, you might notice how your authenticity creates discomfort in spaces where pretense and facades are the norm. You may face jealousy or resentment, even from those you care about, simply because your light makes it harder for them to ignore their shadows. But here's where your strength lies. You're not here to dim your light for anyone's comfort. You're here to show the world what's possible when one aligns with their spiritual truth. And that means embracing the discomfort you may cause in others, not out of malice, but because growth is rarely comfortable. This path isn't easy, and the loneliness it brings can feel unbearable at times. Yet, remember this: your role as a mirror is vital. For every person who avoids your light, there is another who will see their reflection and choose to heal, to grow, and to rise. Your presence becomes the catalyst for transformation, awakening those who are ready to face their truths and step into their power. The world needs your light, even if it's blinding to some. So carry this responsibility with grace and resilience. Know that your spiritual awakening is not just about you, it's about inspiring others to awaken to their fullest potential. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What is your perspective on the importance of this value? Share your insights, and let's continue this conversation. 11. The power of radical forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts you can choose, especially when the wounds you carry seem unimaginable to others. It's not about absolving those who have wronged you or pretending that the pain they caused doesn't matter. No, forgiveness is about reclaiming your peace, the very thing they sought to shatter. True forgiveness is a deeply spiritual act, one that signifies not just release from the past, but a commitment to your spiritual growth and future. It's an act of radical self-liberation, one that says, "You no longer have the power to control my emotions or my life." When you forgive, it's not about excusing their behavior. It's about severing the chains that tie you to the hurt, the anger, and the resentment they caused. Think of how bitterness can consume a person. Holding on to anger or hatred is like carrying a heavy stone everywhere you go. It weighs you down, depletes your energy, and prevents you from stepping into the fullness of your life. But forgiveness is the act of putting that stone down. It doesn't mean you forget the harm or ignore the pain. Instead, it means you confront what happened, process it, and then decide that it will no longer dictate your future. By forgiving, you reclaim your energy, your power, and your ability to rise above what was meant to break you. Consider the story of a young artist who was betrayed by their closest friend, someone they trusted deeply. This betrayal left scars not just emotionally, but also spiritually. For years they carried resentment, and their creativity suffered. They felt stuck, unable to move forward. Then, one day, in a moment of clarity, they chose to forgive not for their friend's sake, but for their own freedom. Almost immediately, their inspiration returned. They poured their pain into their art, creating something beautiful out of the ashes of their suffering. That act of forgiveness didn't erase the betrayal, but it transformed it. The artist took back control of their story, proving that the greatest revenge is living fully and authentically, despite what others have done. Now, think about your own life. What would happen if you chose to forgive, not to let someone off the hook, but to release the grip their actions have on your heart? What could you accomplish if you no longer carried the burden of bitterness? Forgiveness is not weakness. It's an act of strength that declares your freedom. When you forgive, you embody resilience and show that you are not defined by what happened to you, but by what you choose to become. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need these great values. Let's continue this conversation and go deeper into what these values really mean. 12. Your story as a catalyst for change. What happened to you wasn't a random act of cruelty or an isolated event. It was part of a sickness so deeply entrenched that it has taken root in the very systems and structures of our society. This sickness silences voices, perpetuates oppression, and normalizes cruelty. It is a darkness that feeds on fear, shame, and silence. But here's the truth. Your story, with all its pain and resilience, is more than a personal narrative. It's a force capable of shaking the very foundations of this broken system. Have you ever considered that the wounds you carry could hold the key to someone else's healing? When you share your story, you don't just speak for yourself. You speak for countless others who have endured the same injustices but lacked the words, the courage, or the opportunity to express their pain. Your words become a mirror, reflecting the hidden wounds of others, helping them see that they are not alone. As Maya Angelou once said, there is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you. By giving voice to your experiences, you empower others to confront their own truths, to rise above the silence, and to find strength in their shared humanity. What if your courage to speak up is the very thing someone else needs to reclaim their voice? Your pain is not just yours to carry, it is a spark, capable of igniting a fire of collective healing and transformation. By telling your story, you are breaking the chains of silence that have bound so many. This isn't about seeking pity or dwelling on what was done to you. It's about using your voice as a weapon against the darkness. Every word you speak is an act of defiance against the forces that tried to keep you small, a declaration that you are reclaiming your narrative and your power. The truth will set you free, but first it will make you angry, said Gloria Steinem. Let that anger fuel a movement of resilience and awakening a spiritual wisdom that guides others toward the light. What was done to you wasn't just an act of cruelty. It was an attempt to strip you of your worth and diminish your spirit. But look at you now. You are still here, still standing, still rising. Doesn't that in itself show that their attempts failed? Your survival is not just a testament to your strength. It's a story of triumph, of turning pain into power, and of proving that resilience is the ultimate rebellion. The betrayal, the dehumanization they tried to break you. But instead, they forged something unstoppable, your strength. And that strength, born out of fire, terrifies those who tried to bring you down. When you forgive not to excuse but to free yourself, you claim the ultimate victory. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's a statement that their hatred, fear, and actions will no longer define or confine you. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you, said Lewis B. Smedes. Through your journey, you are more than a survivor. You are a warrior, a healer, a catalyst for change. Your story, in its rawness and truth, becomes a beacon for others, illuminating a path from despair to hope, from pain to empowerment. Chosen ones, you'll see this video right before your major breakthrough, spiritual wisdom. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. This powerful quote reminds us that the most significant transformations often come right after the darkest moments. If you've landed here, it's no accident you're likely on the edge of a life-changing breakthrough. As a chosen one, your challenges have been preparing you for this moment of growth and transformation. Have you ever felt like the calm, before the storm is actually the universe aligning everything in your favor? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your experiences with number 77 to commit to your breakthrough. As you stand on the edge of a major breakthrough, life may seem still, or you might find yourself grappling with unexpected challenges. It's easy to feel discouraged or think you're being held back, but this moment is not a sign of failure. It's the universe clearing the way for something extraordinary. Before any great transformation, there's often a period of uncertainty or struggle. This is not a setback, but rather a necessary phase of preparation. Every obstacle you face now is sharpening your strength, building your resilience, and preparing you for the success that lies ahead. The stillness you may feel, or the resistance you're encountering, is the universe aligning everything in your favor behind the scenes. It's a powerful pause, a gathering of momentum that will soon propel you into the next phase of your journey. In these moments, it's crucial to stay grounded and patient. The discomfort or frustration you're feeling isn't permanent. It's part of your growth. Much like the night is darkest before dawn, your breakthrough is on the horizon, and this phase is simply the last stretch before you rise to a new level. The key during this time is trust. Trust the process, even when the path feels unclear. Trust that every challenge is molding you into the person you need to become to embrace the opportunities ahead. You're not stuck. You're being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. When you feel like giving up, remember that you are being guided. The universe is working in ways you might not yet understand, but rest assured, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your breakthrough is not just near, it's inevitable, as long as you stay open and aligned with your purpose. So hold on, stay focused, and maintain your inner strength. This is your time of transformation, and it's closer than you think. If you're ready to step into this new chapter, comment, "I am ready" below. Trust in the process, and let the universe carry you to your next great success. Before every significant breakthrough, it's natural to encounter doubts and fears. These emotions can feel heavy, even paralyzing at times, but they are not meant to hold you back. Instead, they are powerful indicators that you are on the edge of something monumental. The path of spiritual growth often brings with it moments of profound uncertainty, but those moments are not setbacks. They are invitations to expand beyond the self-imposed limits that have kept you in place. When feelings of doubt creep in, whether you're questioning your abilities, your purpose, or fearing failure, recognize them for what they are: tests. These are moments meant to refine your resolve and deepen your commitment to the journey ahead. Fear and doubt are not roadblocks. They are signals that you are about to enter a new phase of your life, a phase that requires you to be more than you've ever been before. Much like a caterpillar experiences darkness before emerging as a butterfly, these uncomfortable feelings are a part of your transformation. They are the darkness before dawn, the tension before your leap into greatness. It's important to understand that these doubts don't define you, nor do they reflect your true potential. They are simply echoes of your past limitations, shadows cast by the bright future you're stepping into. Rather than allowing fear to derail you, use it as fuel. Know that the very presence of these emotions is proof that you are on the cusp of your breakthrough. The closer you get to your awakening, the more intense the challenges may feel. But these moments are your greatest teachers, offering you the chance to rise stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your purpose. In a world full of distractions, external pressures, and noise, it's crucial to tune inwards. This is a time to trust the quiet voice within your intuition, even when doubts seem louder. This phase of uncertainty is not a setback, but rather a pivotal moment of transformation. The universe is asking you, will you rise to meet your higher self? This is the ultimate test of your faith and trust in the process. So when you feel those pangs of doubt or fear, don't shrink back. Acknowledge them, then let them propel you forward. These emotions are tools for your growth, helping you sharpen your understanding of your true self and guiding you towards your greater purpose. Each moment of hesitation is simply the universe's way of preparing you for your next level. Stand firm in the belief that you are exactly where you need to be, on the threshold of something extraordinary. As you move through this final stage before your breakthrough, remember, The only way to truly fail is to give up. Your doubts may seem like walls, but they are actually doorways. They lead you to a deeper understanding, greater strength, and the realization of your fullest potential. You are not here by accident. Your journey has prepared you for this. Embrace the uncertainty, stand tall in the face of your fears, and trust that the breakthrough you've been waiting for is closer than you think. Comment, "I'm ready to claim your breakthrough," or "I'm working through it," if you're still on the journey. No matter where you are, know that you are moving towards your highest purpose. The universe is aligning for you, and this moment of doubt is simply the last step before you step into your power. The challenges you're facing right now aren't here to defeat you. They're here to elevate you. Every obstacle is not a roadblock, but a stepping stone that's pushing you toward your breakthrough. The universe often tests us when we're on the verge of something big, not to hold us back, but to strengthen us for the blessings we're manifesting. These trials are refining your character, your endurance, and your ability to maintain what you've been asking for. If you study the journey of anyone who has reached the pinnacle of success, you'll notice a common thread. They all faced trials that could have stopped them in their tracks. Yet, they didn't give up. Take J.K. Rowling as an example. Before becoming one of the most celebrated authors of our time, she faced multiple rejections. But every rejection wasn't the end of her story. It was a chapter in the process. She used her setbacks as fuel, knowing that they were molding her for what was to come. She didn't just hope for success. She became the person who could handle it. So, reflect on your current struggles. Ask yourself, what qualities are they sharpening within you? Are they building your resilience, your patience, your determination? Rather than seeing your challenges as signs of failure, recognize them as vital preparations for the life you're meant to live. Each difficulty is fortifying you, making sure you are strong enough to sustain the very thing you are asking for. Understand this. The universe does not withhold your desires. It simply ensures that when your moment comes, you are fully prepared to handle it. The greater your dreams, the greater your tests. Your persistence in the face of adversity is a signal that you are ready for the next level. The bigger the challenge, the greater the victory that awaits you. Remember, your breakthrough is not far off. It could be closer than you realize. Trust the process. Stay patient, stay focused, and most importantly, stay strong. If you believe your challenges are preparing you for greatness, comment, "Yes." If you're still working through it, comment, "Maybe." And if you're not quite there yet, comment, "Not yet." Wherever you are in your journey, know that your breakthrough is coming. The path may be tough, but the reward will be worth it. Stay the course. Your time is near. Embracing trust in the universe and releasing the need for control are crucial steps when you're standing on the brink of a significant breakthrough. It's natural to want to hold the reins tightly, especially if you're used to meticulously planning every detail in your life. Yet, the paradox is this. The more you attempt to control every outcome, the more resistance you create, blocking what's truly meant for you. Reflect on the principles behind the law of attraction. It reminds us that our thoughts and vibrations shape our reality. However, manifesting isn't merely about maintaining a positive mindset or setting clear intentions. It's also about surrendering to the universe's wisdom, trusting that it knows the perfect timing and the ideal way to bring your desires into reality. This is where the power of surrender comes into play. Surrendering doesn't equate to giving up. Rather, it's about cultivating faith that the efforts you've invested are already in motion, even if the results aren't visible just yet. You've taken action, you've set your goals in motion, and now it's about allowing the natural course to unfold in its divine timing. Divine timing is not a myth. It's the universe's way of ensuring that everything comes to you at the precise moment when you're ready to receive it. Lao Tzu's wisdom captures this beautifully. By letting go of what I am, I become what I might be. Releasing control is an invitation for something far greater than you've imagined to enter your life. Now take a moment to reflect. Where in your life are you gripping too tightly? What would happen if you released that control and trusted the process? The universe is always working in your favor, orchestrating events that are leading you toward what's meant for you. But it asks for your trust, for you to believe in its timing. When you surrender, you align yourself with the natural flow of life, and it's in this state of flow that true breakthroughs occur. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to continue this journey of trust and alignment. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's continue to walk this path of surrender together. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. It just requires faith in the unfolding. Keep moving forward, trusting that the universe is aligning everything perfectly for you. Your breakthrough is closer than you realize, and it begins with connecting to your higher self, the part of you that transcends everyday challenges and sees your true potential. This deeper aspect of yourself is aware of your life's purpose and understands the path you're meant to take. By aligning with your higher self, you unlock a sense of purpose and clarity that guides you toward the major shift you've been waiting for. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align with this authentic, wiser version of yourself, the process of manifestation becomes almost effortless. You step into a state of flow, and your breakthrough starts unfolding naturally, often in ways that you couldn't have anticipated. So, what does it truly mean to connect with your higher self? It's about silencing the noise, the doubts, fears, and expectations that come from external sources and tuning into that inner guidance that has always been there. This inner guidance often shows up as intuition, those quiet whispers or gut feelings that steer you toward or away from certain choices. The more you listen to this voice, the more you begin to notice your life aligning with your deepest desires. Things fall into place, decisions become clearer, and you start attracting situations and people that are in harmony with your true path. This is the essence of manifestation. Not just wishing for something, but aligning with who you truly are, so that what you want flows into your life effortlessly. But alignment doesn't happen overnight, and it's not always easy, especially when the world pulls you in different directions. Yet, here's the truth. When you live in alignment with your higher self, you radiate authenticity, and that energy is powerful. The universe responds to that authenticity. It brings opportunities, experiences, and people that resonate with the real you. The obstacles that once seemed insurmountable start to shift. Life begins to feel less like a struggle and more like a series of doors opening, one after the other, guiding you toward your breakthrough. Take a moment to consider. Have you ever paused to truly connect with your higher self? Have you listened to that quiet, intuitive voice that's always there, even amidst the noise of daily life? If you have, share your story in the comments. Let your journey inspire others. And if you haven't yet connected with this deeper part of yourself, now is the time. Simply declare, "I will align," and take the first step toward your breakthrough. Your higher self already knows the way. It knows what's best for you, and it's constantly guiding you. Trust it. The more you align with it, the more effortlessly life will unfold in your favor. You'll notice more synchronicities, more moments where things just seem to click. The right opportunities will come to you, often when you least expect them. This is the power of living in alignment with your higher self. It's not about forcing anything into existence. It's about flowing with the natural current of your true purpose. The path to your breakthrough is already laid out. Your higher self is guiding you toward it with every nudge, every intuitive insight, every moment of clarity. All you need to do is listen, trust, and take action from this place of deep wisdom within. This is the key to unlocking the breakthrough you've been waiting for, and it's closer than you think. Your intuition is more than just a gut feeling. It's a powerful inner guide that knows your path, even when logic or outside opinions fall short. During moments of uncertainty, when the future feels unclear, it's this intuitive wisdom that will lead you toward decisions that resonate with your highest purpose. The sense you have right now, that something significant is on the horizon, is not a coincidence. It's your intuition signaling a shift, urging you to remain focused despite the distractions and noise of daily life. While the world around you may seem chaotic, that quiet voice inside remains consistent and unwavering. As you move through this phase of spiritual growth, trust that this inner compass is steering you exactly where you need to go. Even if the road ahead seems unpredictable, your breakthrough is closer than you realize, and your intuition will guide you every step of the way. The journey toward your breakthrough requires two essential ingredients: patience and trust. It's easy to feel frustrated when progress seems slow or the results are not immediately visible. But know this: every step forward is part of a larger, divine plan that is constantly unfolding in your favor. The universe has its own rhythm, its own timing, and just like the cycles of nature, everything happens exactly when it's supposed to. Consider the wisdom of Lao Tzu, who reminds us, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Your breakthrough, much like a seed, is germinating beneath the surface, preparing to bloom when the moment is right. Though it might seem as if nothing is happening, immense growth is taking place where you cannot yet see. What you focus on expands. This is the essence of the law of attraction. If your thoughts dwell in fear, doubt, and impatience, you inadvertently attract more obstacles. But when you choose to trust and align with the belief that your breakthrough is inevitable, you shift your energy and create space for that outcome to manifest. Ask yourself, how can I cultivate patience and faith even when the path feels uncertain? Trust that the universe is constantly conspiring for your highest good. Each delay, every challenge, is a stepping stone that brings you closer to what you've been working for. The universe is not indifferent to your desires. It's moving pieces behind the scenes, preparing the perfect conditions for your breakthrough. Your job is to stay aligned, keep the faith, and remain open to receiving. So when doubts creep in, remind yourself that what's meant for you is on its way. You are not waiting in vain. Hold on to your vision, stay grounded in your purpose, and trust the process. The finish line may be closer than it appears. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to affirm your trust in the universe by dropping a trust in the comments below. And remember, this journey is about more than just the destination. It's about becoming the person you're meant to be in the process. Like this video and subscribe for more guidance on manifesting the life you deserve. Your breakthrough is coming, and it will be worth the wait. Your belief in yourself and the universe is the most powerful force you possess. The law of attraction tells us that whatever we focus on, we bring into our lives. But the true test of this law comes when obstacles appear. In those difficult moments, do you cling to your faith, or do you let fear and doubt take control? As Henry Ford wisely stated, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's your inner conviction that ultimately shapes the reality you experience. Real faith isn't just about believing when things are going smoothly. It's about trusting the process when life feels uncertain, chaotic, and overwhelming. That's when you need to hold on to the belief that something bigger is at play, forces you may not be able to see, but are always working for your highest good. At this moment, your faith is being challenged, but that's a sign you're on the verge of something great. History has shown us, time and again, that breakthroughs happen right after the most trying times. Napoleon Hill once remarked, "Most people achieve their greatest success just one step beyond their greatest failure." The message here is clear. Your breakthrough is near, but you must persist. The vision you hold for your life is still within reach, and this is the time to trust in it more than ever. Remember, the law of attraction doesn't stop. It's always in motion, whether you're drawing in your desires or feeding your fears. So ask yourself, do you genuinely believe that the universe has a plan for you? Now is the moment to cast aside your doubts. Your breakthrough is closer than it has ever been, and it's going to be even more extraordinary than you've imagined. Keep the faith, chosen ones. The universe is aligning things in your favor, even if you can't see it just yet. And when that breakthrough arrives, it will be undeniable. Stay focused, trust in the process, and remember, what you believe, you will receive. Be sure to subscribe for more guidance on using the law of attraction to create the life you've always dreamed of. Your moment is coming sooner than you think. As you get closer to a significant breakthrough in your spiritual journey, the relationships in your life become more critical than ever. The energy and influence of the people around you can either propel you forward or hold you back. Those who offer positivity, encouragement, and genuine support serve as a catalyst for your growth, helping you stay motivated and aligned with your higher purpose. On the other hand, toxic, negative individuals create obstacles, draining your energy and slowing your progress. It's natural that as your energy shifts towards something greater, certain people may distance themselves or fall away from your life. This isn't a loss, but rather a necessary phase of your personal evolution. Let go of any resistance and welcome the space it creates for new, uplifting relationships that resonate with your vision. Surround yourself with those who genuinely support your journey, nurturing your growth and empowering you to stay focused on your path. The more aligned your environment becomes, the faster your breakthrough will manifest, guiding you toward the success and transformation you've been working toward. To truly step into the life you're destined for, releasing the weight of the past is essential. As one of the chosen, you might have been carrying wounds, disappointments, or feelings of guilt for far too long. These emotions, though familiar, act as heavy chains that bind you to a version of yourself that is not aligned with the greatness awaiting you. Holding on to them only keeps you stuck, blocking the flow of fresh opportunities, abundance, and growth. The key to moving forward lies in forgiveness, not for the benefit of others, but for your own liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional entanglements that have kept you tethered to a past that no longer serves your highest good. Reflect for a moment. What are you still holding on to? Is there anger, grief, or frustration that is preventing you from fully stepping into your potential? Who or what do you need to forgive, not to forget what happened, but to reclaim the energy that has been trapped in the hurt? This is not an easy process, but it is a necessary one. Forgiveness allows you to break free from the cycle of pain, creating space for new experiences and blessings to flow into your life. As you release the past, you'll notice a shift within yourself. The energy that once fueled your pain will now be available to you in a different form, as creative power, inspiration, and motivation. The universe is waiting to deliver your breakthrough, but it needs you to clear the path. Only when you let go of what is weighing you down can you receive the incredible gifts and opportunities that are on their way to you. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. But the question is, are you truly ready to receive it? If your heart says yes, declare it by writing in the comments below, I am ready to release the past and welcome my breakthrough. This is your moment of transformation. Embrace it fully. Right now, it may feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You might be questioning why things seem to be falling apart, or why obstacles keep showing up on your path. But remember this: these challenges aren't here to stop you. They're here to refine you. Every setback, every delay is not a sign of failure, but rather an indication that you're on the verge of something significant. The universe works in subtle, mysterious ways, aligning opportunities and circumstances that aren't always visible at first glance. These moments of tension, these struggles, are often the final tests before everything falls into place. You are being prepared. Your breakthrough is closer than you realize. Consider the times when you've been tested before, when doubt tried to shake your faith, yet you persisted. None of those efforts were in vain. Each one has been strengthening you, making you more resilient, sharpening your focus. Think of it as training for the greatness that's coming your way. What you've been envisioning, what you've been working towards, is already in motion. Even if you can't see the results just yet, trust that they are unfolding behind the scenes. It's like watching the tide pull back before a powerful wave crashes to shore. That's the stage you're in, the pause right before a monumental shift. It's easy to get discouraged when you can't see immediate progress. But understand that growth doesn't always happen where you can see it. Like a seed buried in the earth, so much is happening beneath the surface, preparing to break through. This is your moment to trust the process. The universe is guiding you, aligning people, events, and opportunities that will soon be revealed. Your patience, your perseverance, your unwavering belief are the key elements in this final stretch. This journey, filled with its highs and lows, has not been for nothing. It's been a preparation for you to fully step into your power and receive what is rightfully yours. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is not just coming, it's already on its way. Stay focused, stay aligned, and trust in the divine timing of your life. You don't need to force anything. All you need to do is remain open to the energy around you, allow things to flow, and keep believing. Your time is almost here. The universe is preparing to deliver in ways that will surpass even your greatest expectations. As we wrap up, remember, your breakthrough is closer than you think. The universe has been preparing you for this moment, aligning everything perfectly for your growth. Embrace the challenges, trust the process, and stay connected with your higher purpose. You are exactly where you need to be on this journey. If this message resonates with you, take a moment to declare in the comments, "I am ready for my breakthrough," and share your experiences. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay connected with the wisdom shared here on Spiritual Wisdom. Let's continue growing together. Your breakthrough is near.